ho, and Merry Christmas. Well, okay. Actually, it's not Christmas anymore. Christmas was a few days ago. It doesn't really fit anymore. Maybe that's because I've been so busy putting out videos that I haven't actually said Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Merry Christmas, just in case I haven't said that before, and I'm pretty sure I haven't. Either way, today we are reviewing Violent Night. This is one of my last videos of 2022. Violent Night is directed by Tommy Wazowski. It's not Wazowski. It starts with a W or something. Film stars David Harbour and John Leguizamo, Alex Hassel, I think that's his name, and Alexis Louder. You know, pretty decently talented cast. The premise for this movie is very simple. There is an elite team of mercenaries that have commandeered and kidnapped the people inside of this wealthy mansion. They're in this mansion full of rich people because they are, of course, looking to pull off a heist. They're trying to rob these people. Unbeknownst to them, Saint Nick, well, okay, he's not really a saint in this movie. He's also not really jolly old Saint Nick. I wouldn't call him jolly in this movie, but either way, Santa Claus is at this house, unbeknownst to these people. In true holiday spirit, he decides to do what we all should be doing around the holidays. Fuck shit up. And that's what Santa Claus is here to do. He is here to fuck the shit up for these mercenaries. Guys, what you see is what you get with this movie. It's a very simple, very basic premise. There's nothing really elaborate or complex to discuss here. You are here, as in the movie theater, to watch this movie because you want to see Santa Claus beat the shit out of a bunch of people, and you want to see how fun that could be. And guess what? Santa Claus spends almost the entire movie beating the shit out of people, and it is glorious and entertaining as hell to watch. Just love David Harbour. David Harbour is one of the more likable actors working today. You love him in Stranger Things. You love him in a lot of the stuff that he's in. Even that Hellboy reboot that we don't really need to talk about. I know I just mentioned it, but we don't have to have like an actual in-depth conversation about Hellboy because that was
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
But even with that shitty movie, David Harbour was probably the best thing about that shitty movie. So either way, David Harbour as Santa Claus, that's an instant win for this movie, even if he doesn't do anything in the movie. And it's not just about him kicking ass and like basically taking this die-hard Home Alone concept and applying it to this mansion full of all these assholes who are trying to pull off this heist. It's also kind of a tragic feeling to Santa Claus's character in this movie. He feels like a burnout. He's an alcoholic. He's going through some things. And there's like a nice little story about rediscovering what makes him Santa Claus in this movie. And I thought that was pretty cute, and I think that works for kids, but it also works for adults. And let me rest assured, this is a very adult movie. Do not take your kids to see this movie just because it has a nice little message for kids. No, no, no. It has a cute kid in it. There's a lot of stuff that cute kids should not be watching in this movie. A lot of surprisingly gory shit. I love the action in this movie. It's very violent. It's very in your face. Not a lot of quick cuts and stuff. Everything is in camera. You can see everything happening. Really creative ways that people die in this movie. And if you're here for all of that, this movie's gonna deliver in spades. This is a movie that kind of makes you feel for the rich assholes without actually giving a shit about them. There's kind of a black comedy aspect to this movie that I think is underappreciated. This movie has a healthy sense of humor. Not all of the dialogue or all of the moments work, but for the most part, I saw that the effort was there. And in a time like the holidays, effort is really, you know, it's a thought that counts. It's also kind of an interesting little mythology, even like a little bit of lore to Santa Claus, how he became Santa Claus in the first place. Like there's some interesting stuff here that this movie messes with. I already compared this movie to Home Alone and to Die Hard, which are quintessential Christmas movies. I don't trust anybody that says Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Even though David Harbour kicks a lot of ass, there's still that everyman quality that John McClane brought to Die Hard, which is you feel like he can still get hurt, he can still get his ass kicked at times. I feel like most of the people in this movie are having a lot of fun, and that's the thing. It's a violent, gory movie that's definitely for adults, but there's a lot of fun to be had here. Of course, it's based off of movies like Die Hard and Home Alone, so there's gonna be some familiar tropes that the movie's playing with. Because there are familiar tropes the movie is playing with, there are definitely some very predictable things that happen throughout the screenplay of this movie. Easy things to see coming from like 1,000 and 2,000, 3,000 miles away. Things that when they land, they don't really have a lot of impact because you knew it was gonna happen anyways. It's more of a nitpick than anything. I would say that the pacing drags in some spots, and like I said, some of the attempts at humor don't really work all that well. I would say the biggest issue with this movie is that there's just a couple of dumb conveniences where it's kind of like they wrote this in a way where there's no way you can look at it other than it being stupid. It's just stupid the way that that played out, but I get it because we need the movie to continue, so it just has to be stupid for the sake of being stupid. If you want to see Santa Claus kicking some ass, you want to see David Harbour and the whole cast just having fun with a silly and ridiculous but pretty fun premise, Violent Night is absolutely a fun and badass, entertaining Christmas movie. This one belongs in the Silver Age for Man of Steel. Those are my thoughts on Violent Night. So what did you get for Christmas? Did you have a fun time? Did you get some good presents? Did you get what you were asking for? I mean, you know, just let me know. Let's share some Christmas gifts. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show. Stay tuned for more videos. And if you like what you see, tell me how you feel and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.